What is up, y'all? Snipes-n-Snarfblatts, your unauthorized place for Disney, Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilm. This is where we talk about everything entertainment that happens in the Disney Empire. I'm your host, Jason, as always, and man, has a lot happened since last I saw y'all last week. First and foremost, Dumbo happened. We went to go see Dumbo, and you know what? It wasn't perfect, but I highly enjoyed myself watching this film. You want to see my first thoughts? Check those out on YouTube. They're up there. And if you really want to get a more full review, go to the website, snipes-n-snarfblatts.com. Hit movie reviews. It's the top one on there. And as always, no spoilers at all. So if you're on the fence on whether you want to go see this movie, check out both those. It might help you, put you over the edge, or let you know whether you want to stand off and rent this one or not. Personally, bottom line, I would say go see it big. I loved it. I saw it in a Dolby, and it was amazing to me, just some of the visuals that just have to be seen on a big screen. But like I said, not a perfect movie. Check out the full review if you really want to get into it. That's the first thing off the top. The second thing off the top is a giant congratulations to Captain Marvel and team. Brie Larson, everybody involved. They just hit the $1 billion club. That elite club. They just made worldwide $1 billion now. So big congratulations. That is one more for Marvel to put in that club, right besides the inevitable next one. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to get into that later. We're also going to get into some CinemaCon footage. I obviously was not at CinemaCon, but Robert Meyer Burnett and John Campea was, and I took notes on every single thing they saw. So all I can do is react to those notes. I can't tell you how I really felt about seeing some of this stuff, but we're going to go over all of that too. So it might be a little bit of a longer show today. So we're just going to get it rolling and bring right on up that mouse and desk lamp. Mouse and the Desk Lamp obviously is where we talk about Disney and Pixar, so we're going to get right into the first thing, and the first thing is probably the biggest thing, and that is Aladdin. We got a TV spot for Aladdin. I talked about this on the site. There's not much new to this small 1-minute pitch that we saw, you know what I'm saying? But it did seem, for one reason or another, to get me even a little more excited for this film. I'm really starting to come around to this film as, like I said, from my first thoughts when I first saw that reveal of Genie turning around and was like, whoa, Blue Fresh Prince. I was totally thrown off and a little worried for this film, but little by little, they're really getting me to come around. I mean, you're seeing more of the magic with the genie and some of the dance, like the scenes you're used to seeing. And I mean, I'm really liking how they're doing it now, that I don't think it's just, blue Will Smith. Like, once they added a little magic to that, growing, changing into things, all that good stuff, it got more of that genie-esque feel to it. And I'm, like I said, I'm really coming around this, but not too many new scenes in this look. We got a new look of Prince Ali. We got some more of the carpet ride, which, by the way, the whole New World carpet ride looks absolutely beautiful. That scene just looks amazing to me every single time we get a new look at it. My jaw drops to the floor. We also got a real quick glimpse of Raja and going after Iago. And I mean, like I said, really, really cool stuff here. Like, even in a small look. So, I mean, while there wasn't much new, it really got me to come around a little more. Now, they also released these 4 posters. And these 4 posters, they totally hit on the one thing that I still am just on the fence about when it comes to this movie. Like, they're 4 characters. You probably obviously know who they're going to be. First, we got Aladdin. I'm already in on this kid as Aladdin. I really like this kid as Aladdin. I mean, to me at least, he comes off just perfect. And the only thing more perfect than this kid as Aladdin is this next person, Naomi Scott playing Jasmine. Look, y'all, I was totally I loved her in Power Rangers, which was not a great film by any means, but it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And out of all of that, she was probably one of the best parts. And every time she enters the room as Jasmine in these previews, it's just regal just beauty. You know what I'm saying? She's just so gorgeous in these, and she fits Jasmine perfectly to my portrayal of her in the animated film. Like, then we got this one of Genie. Genie, I'm really getting used to. Now, if they'd have put this out before we seen how it worked, I probably would have been like, why do they keep just showing Will Smith? But totally understand this human look now, because it looks like Will Smith's going to be in a lot of this movie, where the genie was kind of in a lamp in Aladdin's hat. This genie's more of a I'm your vizier type genie, so he's going to come off as being right by his side for the whole thing. And the more I'm seeing this work, it's really working with me. I like seeing this genie like this, and I think it's going to really add to the movie. Now, the one and the whole thing I'm on the fence about for this whole movie is this next one. You got Jafar. And why he's got that puzzled look on his face, I have zero idea. But this guy is just a far cry from this guy right here. This guy right here, look at him. You know that guy's evil from the jump. You don't need any building, any nothing. That guy's evil. And that might be what they're doing with this guy. So I'm putting it in the back of my head that he just doesn't come off sinister yet, because I'm thinking, since this is live action and they want a more cinematic movie feel to it, that they're really building on how this guy is going to build into that sinister character you see. And right now he's kind of like a wolf in sheep's clothing type vizier. He's the good guy. I'm just here to help you, and by the way, I'm the most sinister person on the planet, and I can't wait to kill you all and rule over you with an iron fist. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm putting my expectations aside on him, because I think they're going to have more character building with Jafar than we're used to. But as of that puzzled look of him and just everything we've seen so far, he's not screaming bad guy to me yet. So I'm hoping they can work on that, because the sinister, it just isn't there. Now, this is where we get into some CinemaCon stuff, and I can keep on Aladdin because, well, the first piece of CinemaCon that Burnett and Campia went over, they saw was from Aladdin. They saw 5 to 6 minutes of clips, you know what I'm saying? Like a big extended trailer, basically. And they said it was a long clip of the Never Had a Friend Like Me scene, which they said paid homage to Robin Williams, but Will Smith totally owned it and made it his. And you can tell this is a Will Smith song and Will Smith everything. And they also said that this is the best look so far at this film. A film that they both weren't even interested in. They, unlike me, they haven't been coming around based on these looks. And these looks have kind of just turned them off completely. Whereas this new look they just got at CinemaCon, they said has totally turned them back around. They said it's epic looking, that the scenery is just gorgeous when put on that big screen, and they have come around to the point where they now are somewhat excited for this film, and especially Will Smith as Genie, which they say works great when you really see it in action. And they say we haven't even seen half of what it's going to look like yet. So I'm actually really excited to where that's going to go. I just, like I said, I didn't see this stuff for myself, so I can't really build too much on it. I can just go off what they said, and what they said has made me even that much more excited for a film that I'm kind of coming around on anyway, and my excitement levels peaked back up to where it was before we really started seeing these looks that got us all worried. But anyway, they rolled from that right into Lion King, and y'all, they just went nuts over what they said they saw in Lion King. Like, they straight up said, out of the in-game footage, out of everything they saw, Lion King was hands down the best thing they saw all night. And when they started going into it, I felt the best about one thing. This clip that I hope we get to see soon, it was a pretty big clip though, so I'm sure we won't see it all, but this clip finally had talking animals. That has been the thing that for some reason has just disturbed me throughout all of these looks we've got of Lion King so far, Why haven't we seen these damn animals talk? It's just been driving me crazy. And we finally get to see it here. They say it's a big clip. You get the Mufasa scene where the queen rolls over while he's trying to wake him up. And she's like, your son's trying to wake you up. And he's like, he's your son before sunrise. That scene that they said it led right into the whole, they go up to a mountain and they look all over everything and the whole everything the light touches. That scene right there. So you get that. And then you got to see the whole Zazu. It goes into Zazu in the morning report and building up into where he gets pounced. So, I mean, like, scene for scene, straight from the animated clips you basically got to know. And they played those clips just word for word, scene for scene, basically, from what they've seen. But they said it was astonishing. They, like I said, best footage of the whole Disney presentation at CinemaCon. And they said astonishing was the words that Burnett kept using for the animation used here, saying that it was completely beautiful on a whole nother level. Campy had said he got emotional throughout this thing come the end. And y'all, I can't wait to see this clip. I've been a little worrisome about Lion King because all we've seen is the same opening scene shot different ways and built on a little bit, and they haven't really showed us much of this in the trailers to get us excited, which is weird considering this is something we've all seen before. You can show us something, hopefully, and I'm hoping this is what we get to see soon because I really do want to see some. I want to see some animals talk. That was the one thing that worried me in Jungle Book because it was the one thing that was a little off. You know what I'm saying? And I want to see if they just got it perfect this time because there's no human element to tie together the Lion King. It is literally just a film about talking animals, which once again strikes me strange on why we have not seen these yet. Anyway, that's what we got there. I don't have much. I'm just going off what they saw, so I can't really build on my thoughts to it other than I hope we get to see this, and I'm excited there's some talking animal footage, and I'm glad they were as pumped at this that they are because it relaxes me a little bit on where the Lion King's going to go from here. And the last thing they showed for what's going to hit in our Mouse in the Desk Lamp realm was from Pixar. We got a good look at Toy Story 4. Well, they did. And, you know, one of the makers came out and they were talking about how, see, Toy Story 3, a lot of people said it's perfect, and a lot of people said it was over at that point. Hell, I was one of those people. I was wondering why we went from part 3 to keep going. And one of the makers said that he realized something, and he brought it to their attention. He said, yes, Andy's story did end in part 3. However, Woody's story didn't. And we still need to end Woody's story. And they said that was a moment when everyone in the theater was like, oh, wow, you know what? You're right. We still haven't seen Woody's story end. Huh, this is something to build on. So they all got roped right into that page. And he said, now I want to do something for y'all. I want to show y'all the first 17 minutes of the film. To which they're like, what? So they go over and really get into these first 17 minutes of this film, and they didn't want to spoil too much, so anything that was real spoilery they left out. I mean, some of this stuff we saw in Good Morning America, because it opens with a flashback scene, which is probably that flashback scene. I think it was Good Morning America. They showed it on something. I'm pretty sure it was GMA, but it was a flashback scene that really went into the flashback of Bo Peep and stuff, and this flashback scene is the night they lost Bo Peep. Now that they didn't get into when they were talking about the scene. And then you get a montage of Bonnie getting all the toys. And then they said it brought you into real time and right now and Bonnie and she's in kindergarten. And they didn't want to get into the origin of Forky. But they said it was great. And I can't wait to see this myself because Forky, without even knowing anything about the character, from what we've just seen, he's like my favorite character, you know what I'm saying? But they said this was a great look. It got them excited for Toy Story when they wasn't really on board. Unlike me, they didn't like these first looks that we got at all. The first previews, they weren't on board with the first real previews. And they said these totally recapture the magic that Toy Story had. And that seeing them come around to this got me from this level with Toy Story to this level with Toy Story because, like I said, they weren't as impressed as I was. So seeing them come around full just by seeing this footage lets me know that if they really think in the first 17 minutes the magic's been recaptured and we're right back on track, then I'm going to take their words for it more than anyone. I take anyone's word for it because I really trust these two. And y'all, I'm so on board for Toy Story 4 now, even more so than I already was just hearing what they've said. I wish I could have seen some of this footage after hearing some of the stuff they said, but based on that and the notes I took from that, I can't wait. This has got me really pumped. But like I said, we might have a long show today, so I'm going to go right into the next thing. We're going to leave Mouse in the Desk Lamp. That's everything I got for that. And we're going to roll right into the Nine Realms. And the Nine Realms is where we talk about everything Marvel. Little thing happened in Marvel, little TV thing before we get into the big giant thing of it all. But WonderCon gave a clip for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D's new season. And look, y'all, Agent Coulson was the only reason I kept watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been a roller coaster of me just caring, not caring, caring. Oh my God, this is great. Oh, this is great again. All tied together and kept me watching through one person, and that's Clark Gregg's Agent Coulson. So when he passed in the last season, I didn't know if I was really going to care or be on board for this new season. But this WonderCon clip got me. I put it up on the site if y'all didn't see it. And I'm going to call Clark Gregg's new character the Anti-Coulson because I don't know what to call him yet. But this had a big, just great reveal for his character to a bunch of people. And it was cold, y'all. And they got me. That's the best way to put it. They got me. I can't wait to see what happens next in this season. Whether I'll love this season or not, I don't know. But seeing this and seeing what happened next, I'm in. I'm ready to see whatever comes next. And all the weirdness they showed in the first trailer doesn't matter now because they showed this. This is what I'm here for, and I'm in. I will be all in for the new season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So they got me for one more. Let's see how this goes to see if they can get me for another. But Anti-Coulson, as I'm going to call him, like I said, for right now, because we know nothing about him, he's got me. So go check that out if you hadn't seen it. It was a really cool little teaser for the show. If you're into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at all, this will definitely get you right back hooked, line, and sinker. But that's all I'm really going to spend on that. It was a real short clip. It was kind of cut and dry. I mean, just let you know Anti-Coulson's the reason I'm watching, and I really enjoyed this clip. If you ever loved Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., check out the clip. It might put you back on. But another little thing happened, and that little thing was the Avengers Endgame ticket sales. Y'all, I went to war for Avengers Endgame tickets. I felt like I was going to have to go get my gauntlet out and snap just to make a bunch of people go away so I'd get my tickets. I fought for an hour to get tickets. There were so many sold out places, it wasn't even funny. I finally got some tickets in 3D at a really nice theater that's around me. I didn't get to get into the Dolby. I could have gotten to the fan party, but front row only, and my neck's just not going to take that. So I want to enjoy this one, so I've got me some good 3D tickets at my theater that's near me, but I feel sorry for everyone that didn't get tickets, and I know there's a good amount because this thing broke pre-sales. Box office pre-sale record was broken in 6 hours. That's just uncanny. I looked up some of the theaters. Some theaters never even have people at them that I looked up. Full, sold out. I think I counted like 13 sold out theaters. And that's just theaters, not actual whole theaters, but this showing, like 13 showings in like 3 theaters sold out. This movie's going to make a fortune. That's why I said they had another obviously coming to the $1 billion club. This one's obviously coming to the $1 billion club based on those. Like, there would have to be like an act of God damn near, or you know what? There would have to be an act of Thanos to make this movie not join Captain Marvel and crew at the $1 billion club. So That's going to happen. A new trailer did come out with these tickets, though. I talked about it on the website, and it was a little minute-long trailer. But in this minute-long trailer, all the trailers so far for Endgame have kind of been a build-up at where we're at right now and where Infinity War left off. They haven't really shown any just Endgame. This one showed you some Endgame. And the crazy part is, I think we're still in the first act. I really do, and I've got more stuff to think that, but I think we're in the first act still. I wouldn't doubt it if we're still in the first 30 minutes of this movie. Maybe 45 now that we know it's a 3-hour movie, but I wouldn't doubt it if we're very early on in this film still in every single thing we saw. But we did see Cap and Iron Man come together for the first time since Civil War. Do you trust me? Yeah, I trust you. That scene was great. Loved it. Been waiting to see this since Civil War, for that matter. So that was cool. I do want to touch on that scene, though, because when I first saw it, it really did look like Tony was in the same clothes and everything. Obviously, Cap wasn't, but Tony was. And the scene in the background looked like the exact scene where Tony, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man took on Ebony Maw in that first scene of Infinity War. So I don't know if they showed us some time travel stuff right there or not, or they were just doing some cinema tricks and playing with us. Like, the misdirection is totally real in these trailers, so who knows? But that's what it felt like to me. I could be wrong, y'all. It's like a 2 to 5 second scene. So for all I know, I'm just judging the background wrong. But that's just the vibe I got from it. And a couple other folks online kind of said the same thing right after I thought it. So I kind of like, wow, so more people saw this than me. But like I said, I love speculating and I love being wrong. So if I'm wrong, I'll love that even more because I don't want to know where they're going with this thing. I want every single thing to just shock me in this movie. And I have a feeling it's going to. We got to see that spaceship scene with Captain Marvel and Rocket pilot them through space, you know what I'm saying? We got to see Thanos for the first time with his whole, you couldn't deal with failure. And where'd that lead you? Back to me. I love that line, y'all. That was a great line. And then you see the money shot of what looked like Cap, Iron Man. That cape it screamed Thor to me, you know what I'm saying? Because they're your main three anyway. Walking up on Thanos, like, at that planet, as he was, right after he was just kneeling. Oh, God, I'm so excited for this movie, y'all. I have never been this excited for a movie. I've never anticipated anything more than I think I'm anticipating Avengers Endgame. I can't wait. I don't even know if I'm going to make it to the release date is like the 25th when we're finally going to see this thing. I don't even know if I'm going to make it to that day, but I'm going to try my hardest to make sure that I don't do something stupid and take someone hostage that can show me this movie. I'm coming, Marvel Studios. But no, really, I can't wait to see this movie. Like, that's the best. I can't wait. But, okay, there's more stuff, though. 3 posters came out as well when tickets went on sale. Like, this is a big ticket event, basically. These 3 posters, you got this IMAX one. Now, the IMAX one was probably my favorite one out of all of them. I really like the stylistics of this poster. You got everyone that's alive down at the bottom. You got Thanos' head kind of in mist. And then a little darker back, you've got all the people that got took out by the snap. And I really dug that. I thought that was a really cool poster. Not so much with the second one. I wasn't really feeling the second one. The second 2 for that matter, only have the living folks on them. But the second one in particular was this one right here. And this was the one for the Dolby Cinema. And it's got like a cartoonish vibe to it. Like they tried to capture some comic book / cartoon art. And honestly, I'm not really feeling it. I just don't really like the layout of it, to tell you the truth. It kind of seemed a little random to me. I'm sure there was a thought process behind it, but I just wasn't getting it. Some of the people, it took me a while to really look in there and figure out who they were, you know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't feeling the art. But now this next one, though, this was my second favorite one out of the 3. I actually did like the art on this one. This one goes the same artsy way, but it's way more realistic, and it kind of gives you that like Empire Strikes Back art feel. You know what I'm saying? I really liked that one with the realistic art. That one is actually for the Real D 3D version, and I thought that was cool. I liked that one. Like I said, not so much on the second one. I don't really get too much into posters. All they are fancy ads, but I like to talk about them on the show because it's just something to talk about. So there's the 3 posters. Now, CinemaCon. Back to Burnett and Campia's footage of CinemaCon, and they told us they got to see the full scene where Thor meets Captain Marvel. And they are about 95% sure, it seems, that this is a very early on scene, and that all that Thanos stuff is very early on too. Because from the time she gets there, she's like, well, fine, I'm just going to go kill Thanos. And they're like, whoa, wait a minute. That's not that easy, lady. Come on back. So they start talking, you know what I'm saying? And that's when, I guess, War Machine, Rhodey asks, well, where were you? And she goes, look, there's a whole galaxy of planets out there that don't have y'all. And they need more help because they don't have you guys. And I mean, she didn't say that verbatim word for word, but that's in a nutshell what she said. She probably said it way cooler than I said it. But that just, wow. Like, I mean, it really sets in that, yeah, the Avengers, they had y'all. Y'all could take care of Earth, basically. And if y'all can't, look, you couldn't. Now I'm here. Now you really need me. So, I mean, that's more of why Carol Danvers hasn't been there the whole time as Captain Marvel. But this was the crazy part they really got into about the scene that really hit me and everyone there for that matter and just really got their gears turning in curiosity. And that was, in the room was Banner, War Machine, Rocket Raccoon, Black Widow, Captain America, Scott Lang Ant-Man, and Nebula. And these were the same people that looked like they were on the shuttle that takes off to eventually go get Thanos. And the notable absence in the room was Tony. No Iron Man. Tony wasn't there. Tony didn't seem to be on the shuttle as they went after Thanos. Now, I mean, shuttles are big. He could have been anywhere. But you've seen the shot. It's like a wide shot of everyone sitting there. So you kind of see everyone in the shuttle. And it makes me wonder, where's Tony? What's Tony doing? Did he decide to stay with Pepper when he got back? I mean, was he with Nebula in the first? Did Nebula come and he didn't get there? Did they not go the same way? Like, questions. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there was some speculation on their part, but man, I don't even know what to think right there. Like, where's Tony? And I mean, that should be like the new slogan for the next 20 some odd days while we're getting into this. Where's Tony? Because that's all I'm going to keep thinking now. Where was Tony in that room if he wasn't there? I mean, granted, he could have just been in another room. He could have been doing his own thing. But, I mean, if he didn't make it on the ship, where was he? Now, where was the ship going? That's the other thing they solved in this scene. Rocket said when their snap was made, there was an energy signature that's never been seen before. That energy signature popped up on this planet right here. But Nebula already knew where he was going. It's a place called the Garden. That's where they will find Thanos. That's where they're going in the shuttle to find Thanos. And Ben's all that got said immediately in that room, and they got in the ship and went from there. That's where they drew the conclusion that they're probably pretty sure that all of this happens in the first act of the film. So I give that to the 30, 45 minute mark. He was saying 15. I think maybe 30, 45. It's a 3-hour movie, so the first act can be pretty long, you know what I'm saying? But I'm convinced too. I think everything we've seen in the trailer is first act material. I mean, I still think they're going to find Thanos and they're going to try to have this big fight with Thanos, only to realize that there's nothing he can do to turn back the hands of time. Like the Gauntlet, the Russos have already said it's busted. And I mean, and also, you know what? Moving on from CinemaCon, because that's really everything I got to say about the CinemaCon footage that they put up of Avengers. Russo brothers made me realize there was also some sad news in the realm of Avengers. Avengers Endgame will probably be the last cameo for the great late Stan Lee, and that kind of hit me it hit me kind of hard because for these past couple times I really look forward to seeing Stan in there because I mean, look, his Captain Marvel, it brought Kevin Smith to tears, and with good reason, because it even caught me just like, oh, every time I see him. So while I am I'm somewhat sad and I'm somewhat relieved that Stan Lee's cameos will no longer continue after Endgame, because as much as I love seeing him in there, it ever since he passed, it just, every time I see him, it feels like a shot to the chest. In all honesty, I just, yeah. So last scenes with Stan Lee, and yeah, that's most of the CinemaCon footage. More questions than anything. That's all the CinemaCon footage for Nine Realms. And that's all the Nine Realms stuff I've got for today. So like I said, we're rolling on a little long today because we have one more thing to get into. And that's going to be a new segment for the show probably. And it's probably going to be a new segment for the website as well. I don't know whether I'll get that up tomorrow or the next day, but real soon I'm going to make sure that pops up on the website. But the new segment is going to be called What the Fox? And why What the Fox? Because the biggest thing that hit from CinemaCon, besides everything I just told you, was the fact that Disney Empire itself is going to keep 20th Century Fox and Fox Searchlight a thing. And first and foremost, under that banner, everyone can be relieved. While he's not entering the MCU, it seems, Deadpool will still remain on 20th Century Fox. And considering they brought up the Ryan Reynolds with the mouse ears and the Deadpool thing he put on Twitter, I'm going to guess like they guessed that we're going to see Ryan Reynolds keep around in this role. So more Deadpool, more Ryan Reynolds, all under the 20th Century Fox banner still. So everything's going to be kept alive. I think that's really cool. They got into a bunch of stuff for 20th Century Fox. Besides that, though, obviously Avatar is coming. They talked about that. That's finally home. It's got a place in the park, and now it's got a place in the Empire. So they're really hyping up the new Avatar films now that they're there. And the one that really got them and just sidelined the hell out of them, and really I am excited about this too because I love these films, Alien. They're building on some franchises, and the first one they really focused on is Alien. We're going to see more Alien movies. That is just great to me. Love Alien. Can't wait to see more, and I can't wait to see them done right. I can't wait to see someone take some care with these and not want them to just be something to make them money in the long run. And who better to do that than the Disney Empire we love? So, 20th Century Fox, new Alien movies. Very excited about that. They brought up a movie called Stuber that looks hilarious. This is off my radar, so some of this stuff I can just bring up. It's got Dave Bautista in it. They said it looks very, very funny. I have no idea anything about this film. So if I see a preview soon, I'm going to treat it just like I treat everything else on the websites. There's going to be the What the Fox, and I'm going to talk about all the trailers and all the stuff as we get into those too. So be ready for those. They touched on X-Men Dark Phoenix, which that's one of the things people said was the most surreal thing about this Disney presentation at CinemaCon, was you got Disney in the middle, you got Avengers poster, and then you got the Dark Phoenix X-Men poster on the other side of the room. And it was just like so surreal to see them all in the same room for the first time. But they did make sure to say that Dark Phoenix will be the end of the Fox X-Men films. This is going to tie it all together. This is going to be the end of all of them. There will be no more Fox X-Men films. And y'all know what that means as much as I do. The X-Men are coming over to the MCU. They're coming over to Marvel. They're not going to be part of Fox anymore. But this is the end of their films. And you know what? They got a new clip out. Not out. They got to see it there. And I hope we get to see it soon. Because they said that they've already heard this movie was bad. And they already figured it was going to be bad. And they didn't really like any trailers. So this new trailer they showed was longer. And it had a bunch of the old stuff, right? But it had it was like half new stuff. And they said out of the half worth of new stuff, amazing stuff. Like, they were going crazy over some of this stuff. Like they said, as bad as they've heard it is, they totally can't see how, based on the preview they saw. But we all know previews. You can cut a preview to a turd and it look amazing. But like I said, they were really going into some of the things they saw in this preview right here as being really amazing. So, hey, put X-Men Dark Phoenix on my list now. I'll be there. I can't wait to see it. I can review it now. It's under the Disney Empire, so you'll probably expect a review for X-Men Dark Phoenix when it does come out. I will be there to see it. So I'm a little more excited for that now that they said they really dug that preview. One more thing they did get into from Fox that is another movie I know absolutely nothing about, but they were going crazy over the preview to this film. It was Ford versus Ferrari. It was a true story based on Ford taking on Ferrari. It's when they brought on Shelby, built the Shelby. You can't even pay to look at one of these damn near now. It's so expensive, you know what I'm saying? This is very rare car now, but it's big in its time, limited probably even. But Shelby takes on Ferrari, and they compared it to being Rush on steroids. Compared it to Tucker, compared it to any great racing film. Just if you're really into racing, you're really into cars, you'll love this movie. It's on the Fox Searchlight banner, so most of the movies that have won Best Picture over the past years have been from Fox Searchlight. So look for this one to be a great movie, even maybe even Oscar caliber, because they were really going off on it. They got a long trailer. I hope we get to see this soon. The second we get to see it, I'll probably put up on the site, or I'll be a day late. But as soon as I get that What the Fox segment on the site, I will put up this trailer when it hits. Because listen to this cast: Matt Damon, Christian Bale, Tracy Letts, and Punisher's John Bernthal. So I mean, great cast of amazing actors in what seems to be a really just enthralling. I mean, Ford versus Ferrari. You think of that now and you chuckle because they're so far away from each other. But at one point, Ford was going to take on Ferrari, and they did it. And I can't wait to see this. This looks very. I can't wait to see the trailer at least, because it sounds like it's going to be a really intriguing film. And it looks like they've added a whole lot of movies to my list of movies to watch now underneath the Disney empire. Because with 20th Century Fox, Fox Searchlight, and everything under Disney, Marvel, Lucasfilm, and all of that, woo, that's a lot. So that's all the CinemaCon footage from What the Fox. That's everything I've got for Fox right now, because this is the first time they've really just took ownership of Fox and threw it in everyone's face that we're steering the wheel now, basically. So that's, like I said, that's all I've got for that. I'm going to put up that new spot on the website, and I can't wait to share Fox stuff with y'all now. But that's it for the show. There was nothing for Lucasfilm. In fact, it was a resounding "aww" when everyone said, but hey, Celebration's coming up next week. I'm sure we're going to be just bogged down with Lucasfilm stuff over the next week. So be ready for that. That's going to be great. And how can you be ready for that? Tell you that here in a minute, but first, shoot us some emails right there at that spot right there. Go to snipes-and-snarfblatts@gmail.com and shoot us some emails. Shoot us some questions. We'll put them up on the show if there are questions about anything we're talking about. Hell, stuff we didn't talk about that we may have missed that you just want to hear about. Throw them up there too. Show stuff in the parks. I'm right around the parks. I go in there all the time. There's things you want to see. Let me know. I'll pop them up. Put them in their usual spots. And yeah, even if you just want to talk back and forth, hit up that email address and send us any ideas or anything you got. And other than that, if you're not watching this on YouTube and you're watching it on the website, click it, send it over to YouTube, and go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell so you can get our videos right when they come out. But while you're there, check down in the description, and underneath the description of this video, there's going to be links. And when you get to them links, it gives you a link to the website. It gives you a link, more importantly though, to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest. And if you follow us on Facebook mainly and Twitter, you'll be able to really keep up to date with what's going on the website. So you won't have to keep checking the website all the time. I put things up there right as they go up. They go on the website, so you can keep up to date with stuff right as it happens and know what we're thinking about all that stuff. And then, like I said, I think about it, and then I come over here and I hit the camera, and we really go over it once a week on the show. So if you want to know my first thoughts on it right as it happens, subscribe to those social media sites so you can really catch it as it happens. Not to mention, Instagram and Facebook is where I share all of my park stuff. There's always beautiful park pics from Walt Disney World, not to mention any of my food reviews, anything that has to go on with the festivals, like all the topiaries from the Flower and Garden Festival right now are going up, not to mention a bunch of different food and drink reviews daily. So really get on us with social media, because I share a bunch of stuff on there too that anyone who likes to go to the parks would love to see, and anyone who wants to go to the parks, they might want to live vicarious through me as I live through some other folks myself. So check those out. Follow us on all those social media sites. Like I said, that's it for the show. But as always, I like to sign off with a quote. Once again, a quote from Walt himself. We keep moving forward, opening new doors and doing new things, because we're curious. And curiosity keeps leading us down new paths.